Hello friends, this is fourth lecture of strength of material of third unit. Okay, in which we are looking for biaxial and triaxial loading. Okay, uh, that unit was mechanical properties and elastic constant of materials. Okay, this was the third unit. uh, Theory part almost we have covered or finished. um, let's go for some examples, numericals. Today we'll solve this. Okay, let's see here. This is numerical based on biaxial stress. Okay, I have not taken uniaxial stress because we have already solved it in previous units in second unit. Okay, now I will start it from biaxial loading. Okay, uniaxial, you know how the uniaxial loading is done, and this is a biaxial loading. That means let if the object is placed in plane xy plane, then in the direction of x and y loads are applied. In that case you can say the loading is biaxial loading. Here you have the example. Okay, here you can see loading is done on x and y axis. Okay, along x and y axis. So sigma x, this is okay, let's see the problem from which we can write the given data. In a biaxial force system, the stresses along the two direction are sigma x is equals to 50 Newton per millimeter square and sigma y is equals to 30 Newton per millimeter square. Both are tensile. Okay, this is also important thing because depending on tensile and compressive, the nature of formula also changes. Okay, you might have seen that negative or positive sign, sigma upon that formula changes actually. Okay, let's see here. You must have to draw first figure depending on the problem conditions. Okay, so here you can see the problem. Here one thing is assumed. Okay, there are some constants are not given. Okay, only two given things are there, that is sigma x and sigma y, but few things we have to consider, that is e and mu. Okay, we have already studied that the value of mu is between 0.2 to 0.5, so we are considering this to be 0.3 and e is equals to 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Okay, sometime they give the material to you, and depending on the material you have to select this value of e to find the strain in x direction. Okay, we have to find the strain in x direction, which is equals to ex equals to sigma x upon e. That means the strain occur due to the force in x direction minus the tensile stress strain due to the force in y direction. Okay, these are the formula. This is the formula for elongation in or strain in x direction, and leaving this mu, this is the uh, formula for the elongation or sorry strain in the direction of y. By multiplying it with mu and subtracting it from the elongation or strain in x direction, you will get the strain or total strain in x direction. So put this value, we have considered e is equals to 2 into 10 raised to 5, so 1 upon 2 into 10 raised to 5. In x direction is 50 minus in y direction is 0.3, and in uh, the strain in the z direction is what? Stress was 50 degree 50 30. So making all this calculation you will have this. Okay, now sometime it may be happen that if the second value is greater. Okay, if second value is greater, if let it be let I will consider it as a uh, let it be 120. This 30 instead of 30, let this be 120. How much it will be then? 36. Okay, it will be still elongation. Let me again consider more, so that if let me speak directly. If this quantity is greater than 50, in that case you will have this element with or this calculation, this strain with negative sign. That means what has happened, because of higher stress in y direction, the element, instead of getting elongation, it get compressed. Okay, therefore this thing you have to consider. Okay, next one is what? Strain in y direction, same formula, just change the positions of this sigma. If strain in y direction is to be calculated, then first you have to subtract the strain in x direction from the strain in y direction. Okay, let's, you have given, you can see on the screen that here is the, you have to calculate strain in y direction. But what happened here, as this is by axial loading, okay, by axial loading, sigma x and sigma y, we are interested to calculate elongation in y direction. Okay, that means elongation in this direction. But because of this sigma x also, the elongation of this along y direction is quite less than it should be. Okay, that means if sigma x was not there, in that case ey was equals to sigma y upon e. But because of this sigma x, the elongation in that y direction is quite less, therefore strain is also less. So that's why we have to subtract this quantity, and the strain reduced, which is equals to what? Mu sigma x upon e. Okay, then after making some calculation, you will get this sigma, sorry, strain in y direction equals to 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, you can see here there is no unit. Okay, because strain is the unitless quantity. Okay, come on to the next point or problem. That is, for a certain material, the modulus of elasticity is 190 megapascal. Okay, material elasticity is given. Its Poisson's ratio is 0.35. Calculate the modulus of rigidity and bulk modulus. Okay, that we have to use that relation between different units. Okay, be prepared for all this formula, then and then you can solve this. Okay, or effectively solve this, you will have correct answers. Okay, let's move further. Given things, let all this given data write first. E is equals to, which is modulus of velocity, 190 given. Poisson's ratio is also given, which is equals to 0.35. We have to find out rigidity, that is G, okay, capital G, and bulk modulus K. So what is the relation between this mu, E and G? So it is equals to, E is equals to what? 2G into 1 plus mu. So writing this equation for G, we will get G is equals to capital E, that is modulus of elasticity, upon 2 into 1 plus Poisson's ratio, that is mu. Okay, so put all this value, you will get this Poisson's rigidity, modulus of rigidity equals to 70.37 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, so next one is to find bulk modulus. Now again, think that whether there is any relation between G, you have just calculated G, you have given E, mu is also there given. Okay, so between this, all this quantity, bulk modulus also there, is there any relation between all these four constant? Write that equation and then go for the remaining one. Okay, so here you can see this E, K and mu relation is given, where E is equals to 3K into 1 minus 2 mu, where K is bulk modulus, mu is Poisson's ratio, and E is modulus of elasticity, where K you have to find out. Now just write down this equation for K. You will get E upon 3 into 1 minus 2 mu, which is equals to 190 upon 3 into 1 minus 2 into 0.35, which will be equal to 211.11. Okay, this is the value of bulk modulus and this modulus of rigidity. Okay, these two formulas very important. you have to keep in mind. It gives the relation. Okay, any two given, you can find out third. In this also, keep these two formula in mind. E is equals to 2g plus 2g into 1 plus mu, and E is equals to 3k into 1 minus 2 mu. Okay, we have derived the equation for it. Now here, a cylindrical bar is 30 millimeter in diameter and 2000 millimeter long, that means 2 meter length. The bar is subjected to uniform stress of 100 Newton per millimeter square in all direction. Calculate the modulus of rigidity and bulk modulus if the modulus of elasticity is given, that is 1 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square, and Poisson's ratio is given. What we have to find? We have to find modulus of rigidity and bulk modulus. Like the previous problem, we have to find this. Okay, but before that, you don't have given this value of, I think, most of velocity is given. You need g. Okay, so you have to calculate g and k. Let's see which values are given. Uniform stress is given. From that you can calculate, you have the given E, sigma, L, D, all these things are given. You have to convert them into proper unit so that there will be no variation in the final unit of your desired or output quantity. So we have to find out g and k. Mu this time given 0.2. We have that formula. E is equals to 2g into 1 plus mu, and g is equals to E upon 1 plus mu. Okay, writing this equation for g, then just put this value. There is nothing to do. Just rewrite that formula for the desired quantity to be calculated, and then just go for calculation. 1 into 10 raised to 5 upon 2 into 1 plus 0.2 will give you the desired answer, that is 41.667 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter square. One more thing, never forget to give that unit. Okay, because everything is depend on unit. If there is no unit, there is no meaning to your calculations. Then to find out bulk modulus, again the same way for k, and just put this value, you will get answer 55.555 Newton per meter square. Okay, now these all were the problems on the uniaxial loading, biaxial loading. Let's solve some problem on triaxial loading, which are same as that of biaxial. There is no change. Okay, just in the formula one thing get added. Okay, here let me show you. Now read the problem. A cube of 150 millimeter side is subjected to a uniform tensile stress of 50 Newton per millimeter square on all faces. Calculate the increasing volume of the cube and bulk modulus. Take E is equals to, and Poisson's ratio is equals to 0.33. That means first we have to calculate a K. In that case, we can calculate the change in volume dV upon V. Okay, K is what? dP upon dV upon V. Okay, V dP upon dV, you can say. So this quantity we have to calculate it. Let's go for this. First write the given data. Cube size is given 150 millimeter. Then uniform force from stress from all this direction, which is 50 Newton per millimeter square. E is given 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square, and mu is also given 0.33. To find the change in volume of the cube, that is dV, and Poisson's ratio is equal to 0.33 given. Let's write down. This dV upon V is what? Stress in all directions, sum of stress in all direction upon E, into 1 minus 2 mu. Actually this is K. Okay, so let's start with that. Sigma x into sigma y plus sigma z upon E into 1 minus 2 mu. So put these all values. Volume is what? As this is cube, a volume of cuboid is what, or cube is what? Meter cube. So length cube of length. So it is equal to length into length. This will be the formula for that cube. And doing all this calculation, you will get this value change in volume. okay, which is equals to what? dV is equals to 860.625. Okay, you can convert into millimeter cube also. Now a cube of 250 millimeter is subjected to a compressive force of 3.6 meganewton on each face. The change in volume is found to be, okay, dV is given, and find E and K. We have to calculate E and K if, okay, this 1 upon m is nothing but mu. Okay, 1 upon m is just mu is just given on the other way, so don't get confused with this 1 upon m. So this is equals to mu. So write down all this given data, cube side given 250 millimeter, so that to calculate this volume is equal to what? Length cube. So that means 50 into 50 into 50, 250 into 250 into 250 will be the volume of that cube. Okay, now compressive force is same in all direction, that is also given, uh, okay, which is 3.6 into 10 to 6 mega newton is converted into just newton, which is compressive. Keep this also in mind, this thing. Change in volume is given delta V, and 1 upon m, that is Poisson's ratio mu, is also given, 0.25. so given data is expressed on the figure. Let's go for the stress in all direction, which will be same as the surface area, and pressure from all the direction is same, and it is compressive specially, and which will be equal 0.0576 Newton per millimeter square. The volumetric strain AV is equals to dV upon V is equals to, just previous formula you have to write. Okay, change in volume is also given, V is also given, so put this value, sigma I, all this quantity we have, and mu is also given. So we just think is remaining that E. So writing this formula for E and calculate the value of E. So this E is equals to what? 0.684 0.864 upon 3.326 328 into 10 raised to minus 4. And after calculating or doing all this calculation, you will get 259.615 Newton per millimeter square. Now let's find K. Before going for K, remind the relation between K and the values that we have. Okay, we have E and mu, and then write the equation for K in terms of mu and E, and then writing for equation for K and put this value E, just we are calculate 259.615 upon 3 into 1 minus 2 mu is 0.25. Put all this value, you will have that K, that is bulk modulus, equals to 173.076. okay. Now there is another problem. A steel bar 200 millimeter long, 400 millimeter by 400 millimeter in cross section is subjected to, actually is cuboidal bar, subjected to 120 megapascal along length and 40 along two faces. Okay, all tensile and change in volume was observed, that is dV is equals to 140 millimeter cube. Determine Poisson's ratio if E is given. Same problem as one previous was, so just in gigapascal it is given. Okay, you can see here megapascal, there is no gigapascal, no problem. Okay, so write down first all the data, that is length, thickness, and change in volume. Its original volume is what? Multiplication of this 40 into 20. This multiplication will give you the volume. Okay, this is the figure. Okay, in this way the figure is expressed, all the stresses are given tensile. Now same formula, dV upon V is equals to sigma x plus sigma y upon sigma z upon E into 1 minus 2 mu. Okay, keep in one thing in mind, that you will have the same problem. Okay, there is no different problem than this, so you just have to keep 3 to 4 formula in mind. Okay, for by Excel 2 formulas are there, and for this 3 formulas there. Okay, so put this value, you will get the mu. Okay, so mu is equals to 0.28125. okay, if you want to see that for problem again, let me show you. Okay, see this problem. given data is there, given data is there, figure is shown. Here are the calculations. You might have observed that from three previous problems there is no change in formula. Okay, now this is quite simple more. A circular hole of diameter 20 mm diameter is to be punched in a mild steel plate of 3 mm thickness. If the shearing stress developed, the metal is 180 megapascal. Find the required force to be required for the punching. Okay, that means this is punching operation. What is the formula for stress is equals to load upon area. Area is what? 2 pi d into thickness. Okay, so these are the just formula. Okay, write down this given data and just put into this. You will have the load required. Sigma is already given. Sigma is given. Okay, they have written over here q, but it is not q, it is sigma. Sigma is equals to 180 megapascal. So sigma is equals to p upon a. Writing all this equation, sigma is equals to p upon a. So writing this equation p for p is become sigma into a. Put all this value and you will have this solution 33.92 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, there is another same problem. Okay, these are the problem for impact loading. Okay, if you have to punch any hole, in that case you have to use that press machine for punching this hole. Okay, again there is one more problem which is same. You have to punch a hole of 2 millimeter diameter, 20 millimeter diameter in the metal plate of thickness 3.5 millimeter. Calculate the shear stress and compressive stresses develop in the punching rod. Okay, write all these things. You have